The title of the message this morning is To Be or Not to Be. Is that really the question? Our text for this morning's message is from Proverbs chapter 9. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. For by me your days will become many, and your years of life will be added to you. If you are wise for yourself, but if you scoff, you alone will bear it. Now the Psalms and Proverbs, but especially the Proverbs, have a lot to say about human nature and this dichotomy between our natural state and our spiritual state in life, and the choices that we make as we allow either triumph of our natural being, or we subject that natural being to that still small voice of God's Spirit in our lives, and then humble ourselves, and then learn from Him, just as Jesus taught us. He says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light." Weary and heavy laden. Just that small statement alone brings up a myriad of thoughts and emotions, as each one of us has been dealt various trials and tribulations in our lives, and each one of us has seen and experienced things that we certainly didn't desire to have happen to us, nor do we really want to share them with others. You see, we're all in the same boat as far as having mostly forgotten list of things that if only I would have, or I should have listened to mom and dad then, or, there's that list of shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Something else that the Proverbs speaks extensively about is wisdom. Not only about wisdom, but also the consequences of having a lack of wisdom. So this morning, we're going to go on a journey, a metaphoric journey through an affair that each one of us has gone through, and each one of us to this day still struggles with. No one is exempt from this affair. Much of our life has been guided by how we respond or continue on in this affair. You see, in Proverbs chapter 9, Solomon, during a time of his life that he was really in tune with God's leading, and he was writing the Proverbs, he spoke about wisdom and folly. And he spoke about them as women in life. And each of these women essentially offered themselves to all passers-by in very similar ways, mind you. Both of them very attractive. Both viewed initially from afar. One of them was soft-spoken. The other was quite outspoken, fairly loud, and let's just say she was the fun one. But one of them was not truthful. Both of these ladies, or men, if you women want to stay involved in the metaphor. But both wisdom and folly own their own homes. And they own their own homes in the same area. They both sit in high places in the busy surroundings, and they call out to all that they see. They both say the same exact things. One says, "Whoever is simple, let him turn in here." The other repeats the same. They also say the very next thing identically as well. To him who lacks a heart of wisdom. So here we're faced with this, excuse me. Here we're faced with the exact same thing that both of them call out to us. Each has a house that can be a home if we would want it to be. And both make the same comments to us. But those comments can be taken two different ways, even though they are the exact same words. Now, each of these attractive ladies has things within their homes that they have prepared, but they can't be seen until one enters that specific house. We'll get to that in a minute. However, the enticing comes in their next statement. Wisdom says, "Come and eat from my bread and drink from the wine that I have mixed. Forsake simplicity and live, and step into the way of understanding." But folly, she says, "Stolen water is sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant." Now, of course, if you're overanalyzing the metaphor, from a believer's perspective, sitting here in church, and you know the difference when it is being talked about, well, we all know where to turn in, don't we? We choose wisdom every time, right? Sure we do, but no, we don't. We haven't, and we didn't always. We still don't to this day. You see, both of these women, or again, men, if you want to substitute and stay involved in the metaphor, but both are very attractive and enticing. But you see, there's things that you don't know about them. What you don't know is that both have, or what you do know, is what that both of them have called you simple. And both have stated that you have a heart that lacks wisdom. And you should turn into their path, leading to what's inside their home. Here's the things you don't know, which are many. You don't know that wisdom has built her own home and has hewn out 7 pillars, whereas folly, well, we're led to understand that folly has also built her home, but maybe not with so much diligence, not with skill, and certainly not by wisdom, but she has built her house on the back of others. We also don't know what's inside the homes. You see, in wisdom's home, she has slaughtered the cattle, she has mixed her wine, she's prepared her table, she's even sent out her maidens to assist in calling to the passers-by. Whereas folly, not knowing what is in her home, it does say that she is a woman of foolishness. She's boisterous, a woman of simplicity, and doesn't know anything. But we're led to believe that there's something inside that home to draw us in. After all, both are saying the same thing. But what does folly have to offer? Well, she offers what the scriptures say is stolen water that is sweet, and bread eaten in secret that is pleasant. You see, it's sweet and it's pleasant, it's free, and she is fun. What a combination. What a woman. What an opportunity. She is offering to quench the lack of a wise heart with pleasure, with ease of life, with perceived fulfillment without much effort. And all we have to do is enter in. Wisdom, on the other hand, what is she offering? She says, "Come and eat of my bread and drink of the wine I have mixed. Forsake your simplicity and live, and step into a way of understanding." Well, the food sounds good, but where's the fun? I also need to admit to being simple, and then she just offers understanding? Really understanding? Well, I understand all right. If I become a Christian, I can't and I won't have fun anymore. There's too many do's and don'ts. But you don't realize that she has already slaughtered the cattle. She's mixed the wine and prepared a table. And she's offering wisdom as we sit at the feet of wisdom and learn. Solomon, while he's writing this, offers a preclusion to the enticement of folly with these words: "He who disciplines a scoffer receives disgrace for himself, and he who reproves a wicked man receives injury for himself. Do not reprove a scoffer, lest he hate you. Reprove a wise man, and he will love you. Give knowledge to a wise man, and he will be wiser still. Make a righteous man know it, and he will increase in his learning. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. For by me your days will become many, and your years of life will be added to you. If you are wise, you are wise unto yourself. But if you scoff, you alone will bear it." You see, our view of ourselves has a tremendous amount to do with which house we enter. A humble man will recognize that indeed he is simple. A humble man will recognize that his heart does lack wisdom, regardless of how much wisdom he may currently be guided by, because wisdom always seeks more wisdom. And true wisdom, the wisdom that comes from above. On the other hand, a proud person will despise viewing himself as someone simple. And even the wisdom and folly, they're initially saying the same thing. Folly's offer, it softens the blow that you really weren't wise. You were definitely simple as you sought the idea of living on the wild side, seeking the fun and being unencumbered by all the rules and religion, submission to authorities. Well, of course, other than making all of your own decision, you're your own authority. That made all the difference. Indeed, it did, and we're told in the interlude in this particular proverb that the fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. So, it's pride versus humility. How you view yourself versus how God views you. How you view your own knowledge versus God's wisdom. Oh, knowledge is certainly to be sought. Proverbs is loaded with verses telling us to seek knowledge. But it nearly always is surrounded by telling us to seek wisdom. Knowledge is great. It fills encyclopedias and libraries. But wisdom comes only from above and allows us to function with precision inside a world that is filled with knowledge. So, here's the lesson. We all have chosen both paths at many different times in our lives. You see, this metaphor is not a one-time and done process. We walk in and out of each of these houses for any given length of time during our entire life. But the goal is to remain inside the house of wisdom each time, longer and longer, until we finally find out that it isn't a boarding house, it's a home that we belong in. I have a real-life illustration concerning this that I'd like to share with you. And I haven't thought about this in many, many years. And then as I'm preparing this message, I'm prompted to write this to you because I believe I need to share this with you. I need to share life with you. When I was about 15 years old, my brother was 17. We went to the Ingham County Fair. My brother Al brought a friend with him. We were walking down the midway, and of course all of the carnival hawkers were barking their never-ending chorus, trying to entice you. Try your luck. I remember my brother and his friend were drawn into one of these games, and I honestly don't even remember which game it was, but I do know it had to deal with rolling some large dice and moving a piece of the game towards a goal line, kind of like football. You paid your money and you got 3 rolls for X amount of dollars, but you also had to put money on the board to make a bet. The money that you laid on the board, you were able to win back more, and the more you put on the board, the more you could win. Well, they've since outlawed this kind of game at fairs. Anyway, my brother was doing really well, so he thought. And he laid down money, and then more money, and then he borrowed money from his friend, and he borrowed money from me. Fortunately, I didn't have much. But he was almost to the goal line, and we were out of money. And the hawker tells him if he goes home and he gets more money, he'll let him resume the game just as he left it when he returns. Well, I tried to talk my brother out of it, and he didn't want to listen to me because the amount of money that he invested, well, unfortunately, it was quite a bit. Fortunately, he listened to my mom and dad when he got home. Of course, I told them what had happened. But my brother did not go back with more money. He learned his lesson on that day. He knew he wasn't going to win. He gained knowledge. These people were there to take as much money as they could from you. He gained a bit of wisdom that day, too. It's best to cut your losses with those trying to take advantage of you, regardless of how good things may look in your life. This, my friends, is the dance of our lives, regardless of the situation that we're in. Wisdom is superior to knowledge. Wisdom is being able to apply the knowledge appropriately at the proper time. What we must understand is that we never arrive. We're never fully there, standing at the gates, receiving this gold crown of being the wisest of all. We never reach that plateau in life because we're always sidetracked by a different carnival hawker in life, presenting us with bread eaten in secret and water that is sweet, even though we don't realize it has been stolen. The text for this message bears repeating here. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. For by me your days will become many, and your years of life will be added to you. If you are wise unto yourself, and if you scoff, you alone will bear it. The fear of Yahweh, the admiration, the total respect for him, because we know we are but dust. We know that we don't deserve all that he's blessed us with. And this should cause us to pause and to reflect and know that what we deserve, we're not going to receive if we repent and believe. Knowledge of the Holy One. How do we get knowledge of the Holy One? Well, unfortunately, many think that by our own understanding, our own life experiences, our own self-derived wisdom gives us knowledge of the Holy One. But I want to tell you this: those paths only live within the confines of folly's house. Knowledge of the Holy One comes from him and from him alone. And he has revealed to all of us what we have the human capacity to understand. And he's revealed it to us in his holy word and through Jesus Christ. We receive this knowledge through the study of his word, through seeking him in his word, not by seeking some imaginary God called Mother Nature or through the teaching of Mr. Worldly Wise Man or the carnival hawking of Miss Folly. The way this passage ends should give us good and proper motivation to truly seek him while he may be found. For by me, God says, your days will become many because of wisdom. And the years of your life will be added to you. Because with wisdom and seeking him, we no longer are fools. If you are wise, you're wise unto yourself. And if you scoff, you alone will bear the result of that scoffing. Amen.